I guess. Come on in. For what? Here we go. All right. Pull a seat up. It'll be fun. Come on. What is up, beautiful souls? Welcome to Life Spice Podcast. I am your host, Spiritual Bahati. If this is your first time joining us, welcome, welcome, welcome. I think you're going to absolutely freaking love it here. Hello and welcome, welcome, welcome to the very first episode of Life's Spice. I am your host, Spiritual Baddie. I am so excited to have you all here. I am excited to be here. I first would like to say that Life Spice is a podcast that we will talk about a range of all things. I mean, love, spirituality, mental health, religion, everything, comedy, astrology. I mean, the whole nine. I am so excited. So the reason why I started this podcast, well, before I start there, I want to say that this is my missions statement to you guys. Every company, organization, they have a mission statement. So I want to start off on the right foot with you all. So my missions statement is to always be honest, transparent, and upfront with you guys. Okay? So I started this podcast because I wanted to share my story. I wanted to find my kind of crazy, I wanted to share my insights and my perspective. I am the type individual that I only know what I know. Although I am very open-minded, I like to think, I still only know what I know. And sometimes I get so lost in my own perspective that it's nice and very refreshing to have the insight from someone else. So I would like to be that for you guys, and whether you are on your way to work, you're curled up with your favorite beverage, you're getting ready for work, you're getting ready for bed, you just wanted to kick it with someone, I am your girl. And when I say you're going to love it here, you're going to love it here. I absolutely adore it here, okay? I am a ball of fun. I am super excited to have you guys grow with me and just come along with me on this journey, okay? I appreciate you again, and I am so happy that you are here. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about energy vampires, them sickening, sucking energy vampires. They are a real thing. And the scary part is you don't know until you know, okay? It is really the fact that we are just energy in general. It blows my mind how the transfer of energy is so real. And anyone who does not believe that, please pick up a book, honey, please, because it's real out here in these streets, okay? When I tell you, listen, I'm a water sign, okay? So I feel all of the energies. And the example that I like to use is we're going into the ocean, right? If we go far enough back, that current will move us, That's just like what it feels like walking into a room when there's just a lot going on. The energies are just so thick. And as a water sign, I feel it all. I'm quite sure my empaths can relate, And so then let's draw it back a little bit. Now, when you're in the shallow parts, you can kick around the water. You have control of the energies and things like that. So in this episode, we're going to talk about what we can do to differentiate the energies and to give the energy back to where it needs to go from and work on the energy that is ours, okay? But I first want to talk about emotional hijacking as well, because that is a thing also. And if you're not aware of being emotionally hijacked, you can remain a hostage there. And that is so draining and so frustrating and discouraging, especially when you're having a good day. You woke up, you said your affirmations, you just feeling good. And you run into that one cackling coworker, okay, who don't even ask you how you're doing. She just throws on you her mess, right? And you're just looking at her and you're just asking yourself, how did I get here? How did I get here? How do I get out? Help me break free. Well, I'm going to show you how you can break free, okay? But yeah, it's so frustrating. Especially my strong people say, hey, my people the people call you whenever they go through something. You pat yourself on the back, honey. You give yourself a nice, strong. You are the real MVP, okay? I am not, by no means, I am not going to tell you to change who you are. But honey, it's time to implement some boundaries, okay? It is really that time. And today is the day, all right? We're going to get into it. So there's this author. Her name is Sue Patton Theole. She wrote the book Strength. And it's a meditations book for wisdom, power, and balance. And when I tell you, honey, this book is such a game changer. You are going to love it. I got it from Amazon, and it's phenomenal. Now, it's one of those books where you can pick it up and read it cover to cover, or you can just go to the table of contents and find the section that applies to that scenario. I absolutely love this book. There's a section in the book called Wringing Out the Sponge. And she starts the section by saying, physics assures us everything is energy, which is true. And I've learned by experience that most of us are ultra absorbent energy sponges. What that means is that energy is amongst all of us. We're made of energy. Energy and matter is everywhere. Okay. And there is energy out there that isn't always meant for us. And an example of that is the taxi driver flips us off. Our teenage our son is giving us hell about something. That's not necessarily our energy. That's a frustration that's going on within them, and they're reacting, and we are getting the aftermath of their chaos, if that makes any sense, okay? The thing about energy is energy isn't bound by any delivery system. And negative energy is an equal opportunity invader, which means they don't care who it hits, okay? If you're there, you're going to get it, you know? And that's what sucks, because if you're not aware of what's happening like around you and aware of yourself and of your feelings and things like that, you could really mistake someone else's energy for your own. And that could just leave you down a rabbit hole of just second guessing, self-doubt, self-sabotage. You know, it's just not a good feeling, you know? And then she also goes to say that our brains are Velcro for negative experiences and Teflon for positive ones. Unfortunately, our brains react much as they did in primitive times and tend to compulsively obsess over negative while sloughing off positive ideas and feelings. So let's let that sink in for a little bit. So when you think of Velcro, right? Velcro, everything sticks. It's sticky, everything's sticking. And when you think of Teflon, that's that real good pan that your mama said, if you use a metal utensil on my pan, I'm gonna get that butt. You better use something wooden. You better use something plastic. So like nothing's getting through that Teflon, you know? So it's just so, it's funny to me. Well, maybe that's not the right word, but it baffles me how our brains can work against us. You would think that our brain would want to hold on to the good things and let go of the negativity, right? So the fact that that does not happen means that we are so susceptible to negative feelings and emotions more so than we are good ones. Having known this now, I now find that it is easier to reprogram the way we react to situations and the way we allow energies to affect us, okay? There's a portion in this section that she gives this exercise, right? And she says it is a discerning technique, okay? And what that technique is, so like I said, we're going to go back to the room scenario. You walk into a room, and now before walking into this room, you were having a good old time. You was vibing. You looking all good as you want to look, smelling all good. You said your affirmations. You done had your chlorophyll water. You just feeling amazing, okay? You walk into this room. You're not even in the room for 5 minutes, and you just feel like, I need to get out of here. Like, something's off. I need to get out of here. And you go outside, you get some fresh air, but you're still stuck with all those feelings of all those energies, and you just don't know why. Well, there is a discerning technique that we could use, okay? And get your pens and papers out, or you could save this. I will put in the notes where we started so that you can go back and listen to it, okay? So what you're going to say to yourself or out loud, if this is my feeling or energy, I ask to understand what it is trying to tell me as soon and deeply as possible. If this is not my feeling or energy, I ask that it be gently but completely removed from me and returned to its perfect right person or place. Thank you. By saying this to yourself or out loud, what you are doing, you are wringing out the sponge that is you. You are now saying out into the universe or saying to yourself, look, if this is my energy, I take responsibility for my energy. Please help me to understand it. But if this is not my energy, return to sender. You're not welcome here. Return to sender. And I am a person, I have done this technique so many times throughout the day, so many times since I've had this book, and tell you no lie, it works. It really does. I'm telling you, if it's not your energy, you will know immediately. You will feel so light, so clear, so refreshed. And if it is your energy, you'll then have a better understanding of why you're feeling that way too. So it is a very good technique. And it does work, It really does work. And I also want to mention too, if it is your energy that you're feeling a kind of way, don't just shake it off. Don't act all nonchalant. Don't act like you're not feeling what it is you're feeling, because your feelings are valid. But I also want to state something. Just because we are feeling something, it does not mean it is factual. I'm going to say that again. Just because we are feeling something, it does not mean it is factual. And my example for that is you and your partner, you guys are having a spat about something, and, you're going off and you're having you're putting your feelings out there, and vice versa. Everyone's saying what they feel and what they mean and meaning what they say, and then it's over with. You guys separate or whatever. Like, not the relationship, but you're no longer in the spat, but you still feel a kind of way, and then you go to them and you say, so what, you don't care? And they say, well, what do you mean? And you say, well, yada, yada, yada. And because the thing of the matter is, they didn't respond the way you wanted them to respond or react the way you wanted them to react, because I am so guilty of this, okay? So now you have these feelings, and off of these feelings, you have created this scenario that makes you think that they're not as invested or as, they don't care as much as you do. So they say, what makes you think that I don't care? And you look back and you're like, well, because you said yada, 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 or you did yada, yada, yada. And then they say to you, well, it's not that I don't care. This is how I process. And they then go on to, explain to you. Now, because you felt like they didn't care, you ran with it, did you not? Because I know I have. And this is just an example, okay? Because I know I have. And then when you confront them about it, they kind of put the yoke on your face. And you're just like, okay. So that's just prime example of how, like, just because we are feeling something, it does not mean it is real. Your feelings are still valid. Abso-freaking-lutely. You feel what you feel because you're human. And it is very important that we feel our feelings, but it's also very important that we take responsibility for those feelings. And it is also important that we take the necessary steps, okay, before we react to said feelings. Because again, said feelings does not mean that it's a real thing. Okay, you don't want to go being so reactive over an inkling. Here, you done took these feelings that you done felt so strongly about and then reacted and then got yourself into some mess. So that's why it's very important to use that discerning technique to separate those energies. By separating those energies, you're separating those feelings too. Because with energy comes a feeling. So that's why it's very important to differentiate who belongs to who. Because you don't want to go reacting off of somebody else's mess. You understand? We have enough of our mess to deal with. We don't need somebody else's mess. Return to sender. No, we close here, sir. We don't want it here, sir. You understand? We have our own issues and energies to work through. So I want you guys to pick up that book. If you're into meditating and, wanting to really learn yourself better and learn how to be interdependent, this is such a great book. It has a wide range of all the things. I'm quite sure throughout our journey of Life Spice, we will be going back and forth to this book. Okay. Again, that's Strength, and it's by Sue Patton Theole. I also will be putting down in the episode summary the timestamp where I went over the discerning technique. I would love for you all to leave a comment and let me know if you've tried it, because it works. It really does work. And this is just one of many sit downs that we are going to have together. And again, this is just one of many techniques and insights and perspectives that I will be sharing with you guys. I just want to thank you again for hitting that play button. And if you've stayed here this long, I am so appreciative. Thank you in advance. I honestly, truly believe that we're going to have some fun. We are going to grow together. I'm nervous. But it's a good nerve, It's that nerve where it's like, okay, I said I was going to do something and I'm doing it. And I'm not doing this, to be famous. Hey, if I make some money in the process, I'm down with it. You know what I mean? But my sole purpose is to help people. Like I mentioned earlier, my mission statement is to be honest with you guys, to be transparent, to always deliver, to show up for you because I show up for me, okay? And to share my insights and to share my perspective and my story. If this episode only speaks to one person, I've done my part. You understand? I've done my part. And I'm just so excited that I have been blessed with the gift to be able to share and be able to show up and be able to deliver. I will always deliver. And as time goes on, you'll see, I'm a ball of fun. I really am. And please comment, share, I am new to the podcast world, so bear with me. I'm super excited for you guys to see my growth over time. But thank you. Thank you in advance. I am so grateful. I am so blessed that I have the opportunity to do this. And until next time, peace and blessings.